Today, we are all assembled to pay our tribute to Pujya Swamiji. I was fortunate to be in Rishikesh with Pujya Swamiji during those last days after Swamiji arrived in India. Pujya Swamiji had expressed a wish that he did not want any life support equipment and that he wanted to live peacefully and should breathe his last in his ashram at Rishikesh on the bank of the Ganges. Swamiji came with this desire. That desire was amply expressed by Pujya Swamiji, but naturally there were a number of devotees who wished that Swami should continue to live and that Swami should continue the treatment. As you know, Pujya Swamiji spent his last 10 days in a hospital where the treatment was continued. And Swamiji continued to breathe until a time came when everybody was convinced, even the hardcore, I think, were convinced that we should let Pujya Swamiji go. That is when, on the 23rd of September, we brought Pujya Swamiji to the ashram from the hospital. In fact, there were often concerns in my mind and those in the others also, whether Swamiji will really survive all this ordeal or not. But Swamiji did. He has spent whole of his life for other people until the death. He lived for other people. He continued to breathe and going through whatever he had to go through until all his devotees were convinced. Otherwise, it would have been possible that some people would have felt hurt that Swami was let go whereas he should have lived. Some others would have felt guilty that we let go Swamiji, whether was it right or not. So hurt and guilt. Those who wanted Swami to live would have been hurt. Those who thought Swami should be let go may have been guilty. That this should not happen. Swamiji continued in the hospital to breathe as long as necessary. I did not pass away. When everybody was on the same page, there was no conflict left. Then Swamiji was brought to the ashram. In the morning, we had that, what they call CPAP, which is a machine which forces oxygen into the mouth. That's how Swami was breathing for last 1 week anyway. Was kept on Swamiji for about 1.5 hours until all those who were present had Swamiji's darshan. Swamiji was kept in the lower room, which was the original satsang room, which is where he wanted to be, and everybody had darshan there in that room. And then that CPAP was removed, and then a simple oxygen mask was kept just for comfort. And Swamiji continued for about 8.5 hours. After that, it became more and more peaceful. In last few hours, Swami was completely peaceful, as was completely satisfied. He was satisfied and left everybody also satisfied. No conflict, no hurt, no guilt. And Swami left very peacefully. In the midst of all his sannyasi disciples and other devotees, when the roar of Om Namah Shivaya was going on, and in the last moments we also recited the Pranava mantra, and looking at Swamiji's face, you would not know what changes happened. Only from the monitor we realized that monitor had just stopped. And there was no sign of any struggle, no distortion, nothing on the face of Pujya Swamiji. Exactly as Swamiji wanted to live peacefully. In the bank of the Ganges, in his ashram, without any life support equipment. So exactly what Swami wanted happened. And then of course, as you know, the Mahasamadhi was given on the 25th. 24th was the day when Pujya Swamiji's Shariram was kept for display, where hundreds of people came, had darshan. In the morning of 25th, then Mahasamadhi was done. As I said, I was fortunate to be right where the Swamiji was, and was the witness of everything until the last moment. Mahasamadhi also was granted on the Vamana Dwadashi, a very auspicious day. Pujya Swamiji has touched the hearts of countless people, and naturally his passing away has left a great void, a great sense of loss in the hearts of number of people, his disciples, his devotees, his admirers. Everybody has felt around the world a tremendous sense of loss. It is needless to say that Swamiji's departure has been a great loss to me. He was, of course, my father, a guide, and one who inspired, and one who took care. A very caring, guiding, not only teacher, but father. Again, I must say that I was particularly fortunate to earn Swamiji's special grace. In 1981, when a question came that somebody had to be posted at Sandipani Sadhana in Chinmaya Mission those days as Acharya for the ongoing 3-year course at Sandipani Sadhana, and Swami chose me to do that. I never realized how tough that was, what it was to be in the shoes of the teacher. Because as naive as I was, even while studying with Pujya Swamiji, I always connected with Swamiji only the teacher and disciple, and I did not pay attention to Swamiji as a person, which is an extremely important dimension. And when I was placed in those shoes, I realized what Swamiji must have been, what all I was lacking, what all was required. That Vedanta is not merely an intellectual accomplishment, but that it involves an emotional maturity, an emotional growth, a growth in one's love and compassion and kindness and care. Great learning experience. Then in 1983, when one Swamiji was visiting Ahmedabad, this was after Arsha Vidya was formed. While we were driving, I was in the car with Pujya Swamiji, and Swamiji says, I think we should start our publications here. I said, okay. That's how the publication activity of Pujya Swamiji was started in the name of Sri Gangadhareshwar Trust. For publication, we were organizing Swamiji's talks. We would give Swamiji topics. We would talk on them. They were recorded, transcribed, edited, and published. That was also a great blessing, a great experience, a great period of growth. If some people feel that this Swamiji possesses clarity in Vedanta, that experience of transcribing, editing, all of this has contributed a great deal into that. And some translations also. Then came 89. Again, it was necessary that somebody should come to Sailasburg to assist Pujya Swamiji and ultimately replace him. Again, Swamiji chose me. I don't know what kind of trust and confidence Swami had. I lacked that in myself, but he always displayed that. And that's how I started coming to Sailasburg here. Pujya Swamiji has said in his own words that many people have received my grace, but pointing this Swami, that he knows how to tap the grace. That's how Swamiji has felt. So, I must say that I have been perhaps the most fortunate of Swamiji's disciples. I don't say I am the best, certainly I am the most favored and most fortunate disciple of Pujya Swamiji. It's a privilege which is very hard to live up to. It's a great challenge, and all I can say is I seek Pujya Swamiji's grace. I'm sure it is there, that you can live up to his expectations, even to some extent. I'm sure, I pray on behalf of all of you and myself also, that Pujya Swamiji continues to live in the hearts of us all, that he continues to guide us, inspire us, and help us in our subsequent growth, so as for us to reach our ultimate goal. Hari Om.